Megalodon Media News. We give you all the news nobody is talking about.
Today, the FBI said it is no longer hunting the mysterious hijacker known as D.B. Cooper. The leads have all dried up. Back in 1971, he hijacked a Northwest Orient Airlines 727. Then over Washington State, he jumped out wearing a business suit, a parachute, and a bag with $200,000. Some of the money was found, but he never was.
The day was November 24, 1971. It was a day that would go down in history, not for the festive celebrations that were about to take place, but for an audacious crime that would baffle authorities for decades to come. Join Megalodon Media as we investigate the story of D.B. Cooper. It was the eve of Thanksgiving, a time when families across the United States were preparing to gather around tables laden with turkey, stuffing, and all the trimmings. The air was filled with the aroma of home-cooked meals, and the streets were bustling with last-minute shoppers. A sense of anticipation filled the air as people hurried to complete their preparations. The holiday season was in full swing, and the excitement was palpable. Stores were crowded and the streets were alive with the hustle and bustle of holiday cheer. At Portland International Airport, the scene was no different. Passengers bustled about, eager to reach their holiday destinations. The airport was a hive of activity, with people checking in, saying their goodbyes, and looking forward to reuniting with loved ones. Among the throngs of travelers was a man who called himself Dan Cooper. He appeared to be just another passenger, a seemingly ordinary individual dressed in a business suit, carrying a briefcase. Little did anyone know, he would soon become the central figure in one of America's most baffling mysteries. Cooper boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, bound for Seattle. The flight was routine, and the passengers settled into their seats, unaware of the drama that was about to unfold. Cooper settled into his seat, a nondescript man in a business suit clutching a briefcase. He blended in seamlessly with the other passengers, giving no indication of the audacious crime he was about to commit. Nothing about him seemed remarkable, nothing to suggest the audacious crime he was about to commit. He was calm, composed, and gave no hint of the chaos he was about to unleash. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper passed a note to a flight attendant. At first, she thought it was just another passenger trying to flirt with her, but when she read the note, her blood ran cold. The note contained a chilling message. He had a bomb, and he was hijacking the plane. The flight attendant, caught off guard, followed Cooper's instructions to the letter, her mind racing with fear and uncertainty. She discreetly informed the pilot of the situation, and a sense of urgency gripped the cockpit. The pilots, trained for emergencies, knew they had to act quickly and decisively. The pilot and co-pilot exchanged worried glances, their minds racing as they tried to formulate a plan. They knew they had to keep the passengers calm while dealing with the hijackers' demands. The pilot contacted air traffic control, reporting the hijacking. The message was relayed to the authorities, and the wheels were set in motion for a response to the crisis. The authorities were now involved, but Cooper was in control. He had the upper hand, and the lives of everyone on board were in his hands. The stage was set for one of the most infamous hijackings in American history. Cooper's demands were specific and unwavering. He was meticulous in his instructions, leaving no room for negotiation or error. His calm demeanor and precise requests suggested he had planned this for a long time. He wanted $200,000 in cash, delivered in $20 bills. The amount was significant, yet not exorbitant, indicating he had calculated the risk and reward carefully. The choice of $20 bills was strategic, making the money easier to handle and less traceable. He also demanded 4 parachutes, a request that puzzled the authorities. Why 4? Was he planning to take hostages with him, or was it a ploy to ensure he received functional equipment? The ambiguity added to the tension, leaving no doubt in anyone's mind that he planned to escape by air. The inclusion of multiple parachutes suggested he was prepared for various scenarios, showcasing his foresight and tactical thinking. The authorities, faced with a volatile situation and the safety of the passengers paramount in their minds, agreed to Cooper's terms. They had to balance the immediate threat against the potential for a peaceful resolution. The plane landed at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, a bustling hub that now found itself at the center of a high-stakes drama. The tension was palpable as the plane taxied to a remote part of the airport, where Cooper allowed the passengers to disembark in exchange for the money and parachutes. The relief among the passengers was immense, but the ordeal was far from over for the crew and authorities. The authorities, hoping to end the hijacking peacefully, complied with his demands. They meticulously followed his instructions, aware that any deviation could result in disaster. With the ransom secured, Cooper instructed the pilots to chart a course for Mexico City, a destination that would take them over vast, uninhabited areas, complicating any potential rescue or interception efforts, flying at a low altitude and at a reduced speed. These specific flight parameters were designed to facilitate his planned escape, minimizing the risk of detection and interception. The Boeing 727, now carrying only Cooper and a skeleton crew, took off into the darkening sky. The night added another layer of complexity to the unfolding drama, shrouding the plane in darkness and uncertainty. The authorities, both on the ground and in the air, watched and waited, hoping for a break in the case. They monitored the plane's progress, ready to respond to any sudden changes or opportunities. Inside the plane, the atmosphere was tense, a mixture of fear and anticipation. The crew, now alone with Cooper, had to maintain their composure and follow his instructions to the letter, knowing that any misstep could have dire consequences. As the plane droned on, Cooper, true to his word, directed the crew to maintain a low altitude and a slow speed, making his planned escape more feasible. The hum of the engines was a constant reminder of the high-stakes game he was playing. Every minute that passed brought him closer to his daring escape. The crew, though tense, followed his instructions meticulously, aware that any deviation could provoke a dangerous reaction from their captor. He remained calm and collected, his demeanor a chilling counterpoint to the extraordinary circumstances. His eyes, sharp and focused, scanned the cabin, ensuring everything was in place. The passengers, unaware of the full extent of the situation, sensed the tension but saw only a composed man, seemingly in control of his destiny. Cooper's calmness was unnerving, a stark contrast to the chaos that could have erupted. Outside, the night was dark, the landscape a blur beneath the plane's wings. The vast expanse of the Pacific Northwest stretched out below, a shadowy canvas of forests and mountains. The moonlight barely pierced the thick clouds, adding to the sense of isolation and mystery. The plane seemed like a lone sentinel in the night, its path known only to those on board. Somewhere over the Pacific Northwest, Cooper made his move. He had meticulously planned this moment, every detail considered. The map of the region was etched in his mind, each landmark a potential escape route. The dense forests and rugged terrain below offered both a challenge and a refuge. It was now or never. He lowered the aft stairs of the Boeing 727, a daring feat considering the plane was in flight. The wind roared as the stairs descended, a deafening reminder of the perilous drop that awaited. Cooper, undeterred, prepared himself for the jump. The crew, now aware of his intentions, could only watch in stunned silence. With the ransom money strapped to his person, Cooper jumped into the night, disappearing into the darkness and the annals of criminal history. The cold air bit at his face as he plummeted, the ground rushing up to meet him. In that moment, he became a legend, a ghost in the night sky. His fate, uncertain, became the stuff of myths and endless speculation. The pilots, relieved to be free of their captor, landed the plane safely in Reno, Nevada. Their ordeal was over, but the mystery was just beginning. The relief was palpable as they touched down, the tension of the past hours finally dissipating. They had done their part. Now it was up to the authorities to unravel the enigma of D.B. Cooper. The authorities, their quarry vanished, were left with more questions than answers. The investigation began in earnest, with agents poring over every detail, every clue. The case quickly became one of the most infamous in FBI history, a puzzle that seemed to grow more complex with each passing day. Theories abounded, but concrete answers remained elusive. The search for D.B. Cooper had begun. Teams scoured the dense forests and rugged terrain, looking for any sign of the elusive hijacker. Helicopters buzzed overhead, their searchlights cutting through the darkness. On the ground, search parties combed through the underbrush, hoping to find a trace of the man who had vanished into thin air. The legend of D.B. Cooper was born, a tale of audacity and mystery that would captivate the world for decades to come. The investigation into D.B. Cooper's hijacking was one of the most extensive and exhaustive in FBI history. The authorities combed the rugged terrain of the Pacific Northwest, searching for any trace of the elusive hijacker. Despite numerous leads and countless hours of investigation, Cooper seemed to have vanished without a trace. The case, filled with dead ends and false leads, only deepened the mystery surrounding the man known as D.B. Cooper. Over the years, theories and speculations have abounded, but the true identity and fate of D.B. Cooper remain one of America's most enduring mysteries. The legend of D.B. Cooper continues to captivate the imagination, a testament to the audacity and enigma of the man who disappeared into the night. Now let's dive into the elusive trail of D.B. Cooper.
We are going to begin tonight with a potential break in one of the greatest mysteries in all of American history. I'm talking about the hunt for the true identity of D.B. Cooper. Now, he is the infamous airplane hijacker who jumped out of a plane back in 1971 with $200,000 in cash, never to be seen again. His identity is a mystery to this very day. But tonight, my next guest says that he has found that parachute that D.B. Cooper used, and that it could actually end the mystery once and for all.
We just solved it. Literally. Literally. This is the rig, because they know what rig he used when he jumped that night.
Now, he says it belongs to a man named Richard McCoy Jr. Now, look at the side-by-side comparison. The parachute was found on the McCoy family property about 2 years ago. Now, he has always been a rumored longtime suspect and was killed in 1974 after pulling off a similar heist, but there's never been any proof linking him. Now, bits of money have been recovered in the past, and there have been literally hundreds of tips and leads over the years that have gone exactly nowhere.
After that daring leap from the plane, Cooper seemed to vanish into thin air. Authorities searched high and low, combing through the dense forests and rugged terrain, but there was no sign of him. It was as if he had simply disappeared. Over the years, numerous theories and speculations have emerged. Some believe he perished in the wilderness, while others are convinced he survived and started a new life somewhere far away. Despite extensive investigations and countless leads, the mystery of D.B. Cooper remains unsolved. His audacious heist and subsequent disappearance continue to captivate and baffle experts and enthusiasts alike. And so, the legend of D.B. Cooper lives on, a tantalizing puzzle that may never be fully unraveled. In 1980, a young boy named Brian Ingram made a startling discovery while playing on the banks of the Columbia River. He found several bundles of cash, later confirmed to be part of Cooper's ransom. This find reignited public interest and speculation, but it also raised more questions than answers. How did the money end up there? Was it a deliberate plant, or had it simply washed ashore over time? The discovery provided a tangible link to the hijacking, yet the mystery remained as elusive as ever. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged about D.B. Cooper's fate. Some believe he perished in the wilderness, unable to survive the harsh conditions. Others suggest he might have lived under a new identity, blending into society unnoticed. There are even those who think Cooper had inside help, an accomplice who ensured his escape. Each theory has its proponents, but none have been definitively proven. The FBI investigated hundreds of suspects, yet the true identity of D.B. Cooper continues to elude us. Despite decades of investigation and countless theories, the case of D.B. Cooper remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. The FBI officially closed the case in 2016, but amateur sleuths and enthusiasts continue to search for clues. The allure of the unknown, the audacity of the crime, and the enigma of Cooper himself ensure that this mystery endures. It's a puzzle that has fascinated generations and will likely continue to do so for many years to come. D.B. Cooper's daring heist has left an indelible mark on popular culture. From books and movies to songs and TV shows, the legend of Cooper has been immortalized in various forms of media. He's become a symbol of the ultimate escape artist, a folk hero to some and a cunning criminal to others. His story has inspired countless works of fiction, each adding to the mythos of the man who vanished without a trace. Even today, references to D.B. Cooper can be found, a testament to the enduring fascination with his story.